So let's delve straight into the career plan conversation. I mean, I don't want to assume that everybody understands what a career plan is for the sake of those who might be watching later on, or for the sake of those who are here and they don't really know. I mean, what does the career plan essay entail? What goes into it? If you could throw more light on it for us.
Okay, so I have put down about 7 key pointers.
Okay.
And as I talk on each, I'll be drawing examples from my experiences.
Okay.
I think that will better explain it. I don't want it to be too cumbersome or too plenty. Yeah, just key things that I want us to highlight. Then maybe questions could start coming in.
Okay.
I think the first thing that I have here is understanding the objective of Chevening, and I think I've touched briefly on that about the mindset, what Chevening seeks to achieve.
Right.
Investment in leaders that would make society better. So if you see yourself as a leader and you see your work impacting a society or serving the interest of society beyond yourself, then you're a right candidate for Chevening. And as I indicated, Chevening is not necessarily intended to support education for the brilliant but needy student, but the intention is to develop leaders. Chevening is about leadership. The word Chevening itself is synonymous to leadership. Okay, so it's an opportunity to develop yourself as a leader, but before you are given the opportunity, you need to demonstrate that you are an emerging leader in that field. You get it? And there's a saying that the otimi ehwe kakra so yie no ono na ema bebre a otimi with my so yie. In English, you could say, if you are giving little, yes, if you're able to do something with little or nothing in your private space, that is serving society or that is serving the interest of people. When Chevening gives you the opportunity to develop yourself as a leader, they can be convinced that you can do better. Exactly. You get it. So I have to highlight that again about the mindset of Chevening. Then in relation to the career essay, right? In writing it, I'm giving tips, key tips that could guide people to put down a good essay. Later, when the questions come, we can address other things.
Sure.
Yeah. So one thing that our prospective scholars should also look out for is that in writing such essay, you need to demonstrate how you are presently working on your career path. Okay, you need to demonstrate, and I'm choosing my words correctly. Demonstrate here I mean, give practical examples of what you are doing now that is geared towards the career you want to pursue. So in my case, for instance, joining Spring Up, I look forward to becoming a STEM policy advisor in the immediate future, working with the government to influence policies that support foundational literacy and STEM education, especially getting girls to pursue STEM education in Ghana. Currently, our educational system in Ghana, we have 60 to 40 in favor of arts, but the current government and the ministry intends to switch the ratio to make it 60-40 in favor of sciences. And that has been strongly indicated in Ghana's education, they call something ESP, Education Strategic Plan, from 2018 to 2030. The goal is to switch the ratio of 60-40 in favor of arts to 60-40 in favor of sciences. Because presently at the senior high school level, we have about 12% of people pursuing science disciplines. Okay, so as someone who is passionate about foundational literacy and STEM education, before you can even pursue STEM education, your literacy should be good, right? Yeah, so in demonstrating how presently I'm working on my career path to be a STEM policy advisor, I have joined Spring Up. I have designed programs like making modern libraries accessible to children in public basic schools. And beyond the library, we are establishing STEAM clubs. STEAM, I mean science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics clubs in the schools that will complement the library initiatives or infrastructure to get more children reading, to get more children practicing. And we are emphasizing our work on robotics and coding. So if you tell Chevening that you want to be a STEM policy advisor, you should be able to demonstrate currently what you are doing that is leading to that path. So you have to cite practical example of what you are currently doing that would lead to the kind of career that you want to pursue. Let's go to the second item. We have demonstrate how your program will help you upskill to progress in your career. Yes, you don't just choose programs. That's also one thing that mistakes that people do. Before you choose a program in one of the UK universities, you have to do intensive research to understand if the program would support your career path or career growth. At Oxford Brookes University, for instance, in education, there are so many aspects of education here. We have so many branches, let me put it this way, so many branches of education. But I did extensive research and I realized that the modules that the leadership and management program offers suit my career path. Okay, so you have to do extensive research into the program. You have to go to the university website, read on the program, check the program models if it's in line with what you want to pursue, because you will need that information to defend your career path when you get to the interview stage. You get it? Yeah, so you have to demonstrate that this program will help my career path because of these models that the program is offering. And even sometimes certain lecturers within the department that are doing something similar or that have done research in that area, you can mention their name, that getting opportunity to meet this kind of people at this university doing this would help you because you can learn from them. So your program must reflect the kind of career you want to pursue, and you need to demonstrate that to Chevening. One thing that our prospective scholars should understand is that Chevening is fact. Chevening is not about writing just good essay. It's 500 words. You don't have time to write a lot of flesh. Every sentence should speak fact. Okay, so if you are demonstrating how your program would support your career path, it's not about, I believe that this program, no. You give facts about the program, how it will support you. It's very key, because Chevening needs to know that the investment they will be making in your education would reflect your career path. You wouldn't come back and be doing something else. So it's very important that our scholars or prospective scholars do extensive research personally, right? Collectively. I'm not saying this to discourage people, but I'm saying this to let people understand how intensive and how how intensive it is to prepare for Chevening. It took me 18 months to get through Chevening. Before I even started applying, I had done a lot of research even about the university.
Right.
Because there are some universities that their strength is not education. Their strength is business. Their strength is science. So if you are doing something about education, select universities that are known to train educators or educational leaders. Because it counts. Because if you select a school that is known to train good education or educational leaders, you are most likely, rest assured, say, you get innovative models as supporting educational leadership.
Okay.
Yes, so it's very important that you demonstrate how your program will help you upskill or progress in your career path. The next thing I want to talk about is that you cannot write a Chevening essay without having a clear plan, career plan. After your return, you need to demonstrate to Chevening your 2 year, your 2 year plan. What you'll be doing in 2 years, at least that's a short term. What you'll be doing in 5 years, that's about medium term, and what you'll be doing in 10 years plus, that is your long term. So for instance, in my short term plan, I told Chevening that upon my return, I'm going to, put forward my knowledge and integrate e-libraries into what we've already done, and ensure that we do STEM and literacy competitions that would, spark the interest of learners in STEM education, and bring on stakeholders that will sponsor and participate in the program. And I had already engaged some of the stakeholders like Ghana Library Authority, Ghana Education Service, Ministry of Education, Ghana UNESCO for is it Commission for UNESCO Ghana Commission, yes, and also Coderina. These are stakeholders that will come on board to support what we are doing. So in the next 2 years upon your return, you should demonstrate to Chevening what you'll be doing that will support your career. You should have it should be clear, like clearly explained, clearly put out there. I'll be doing this in the next 2 years upon my return. I believe that with this 2 years activity, in the next 5 years, I'll get to this level. In the next 10 years, I'll get to this level. Chevening needs to know what you'll be doing when you return. Yeah, so you should have your short-term, medium or middle term, and long-term career goals. You should state it clearly. If you have to take a paragraph, that part alone should take a paragraph. Chevening need to know what you'll be doing upon your return.
Okay, so and just before you go on with the other question, the other pointers, you just mentioned something about having like a clear vision for a clear career path. So I want to know, maybe someone is like watching us currently, they don't really have, so they probably know what they want to do short term, they know what they want to do medium term, but they are not really seeing a clear vision of what a long term looks like. Like they don't really have an idea of,
the long term, sometimes you don't need to assume or overthink. Okay. It's the little things that you start that will have ripple effect to the long term.
Okay.
You get it? Because to be a STEM policy advisor working with the government, I'm not talking about a particular government, but so far as I return to Ghana, I want to be able to influence policy that relates or that links to foundational literacy and STEM education. Okay. You demonstrate to Chevening that when I return 2 years, I'll be doing ABC. And I believe that with that, in the next 5 years, it will lead me here. Okay, sometimes it's not like you are there yet. You are not there because they are career plans, they are futuristic objectives. So you are demonstrating to Chevening that upon your return, you'll be putting your knowledge and skills to this in the short term, 2 years, at least that one you should know. Okay. Then you tell Chevening that you believe that in doing this short-term goal, it will build your capacity to get to this. So you should know what you want to do in the medium term, then long term. I don't know if I've answered your question.
Yes.
So you may not necessarily have to say, I'll be here or I want to be here. You should see how your career activities should lead from point A to point B to point C.
So they must all align together.
Yes, they must align, exactly. Yeah. And the next thing is that you have to demonstrate how your career plan would help your community, society, and our country. That is very key. In explaining your career goals to Chevening, you should look beyond yourself. You should look beyond yourself because leadership starts with self, but it doesn't end with self. Okay, so anything that you want to do in your career, it should have a significant impact on your society, on your immediate society. It may not necessarily have an impact in Ghana as a whole, right? But at least in your society, in your community, you should demonstrate to Chevening how, for instance, if you are doing something in maybe cybersecurity, okay, if you are pursuing a career in cybersecurity, beyond the company or some A-list companies that you want to work for in the immediate future, pursue a career there, what would your cybersecurity knowledge or skill, how will it impact society? How will it impact online fraud? Demonstrate that. How will you put your knowledge to ensuring that your country, your region, your society, your community would benefit from that? Because remember, until Chevening have a sense of selfless leadership in your ACEs, they will not invest in you. Yes, Chevening need to have a sense that your career path is not self-serving. You are not coming to have your masters and be bragging about I have masters from the UK. No, that's not the essence for Chevening. Chevening is about your career path. Is it selfless? Is it helping people? Is it helping a society? Is it helping organizations? Okay, and like I said, don't overthink like extreme, like how will it help Ghana? No, sometimes in an NGO that you could be working with, when you come back, you want to be there and help. That's also a way of demonstrating that your knowledge will be put to use that help society. You may decide, you may decide to tell Chevening that upon your return, even if you want to work in a corporate space, upon your return, you would establish NGO or something that would do cybersecurity education to churches, to society, communities, and you can, if you don't want to establish the NGOs or yourself, you can join NGOs that are focused on security. How you would be there as a resource person, you share your knowledge on how to prevent fraud, how to prevent cyberbullying. Demonstrate something that your knowledge, when you return, it will not serve only you.
Right.
And if possible, if, for instance, you have been in a corporate space all your life and you want to tell Chevening that upon your return, you join social enterprises and do educational orientations and all that, you need to mention some of the NGOs that you know are into security, like they do interventions in security. Then you mention that these are some of the prime or organization that you would love to join, even if you know, and you'll be able to establish an NGO, right? So even if you want to join organizations, tell Chevening how you put your knowledge to solve or help society. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say.
I really get what you're trying to say.
Exactly. Then the sixth one is when you're in the UK, okay, you picture yourself that you're in the UK, okay, in your career plan. Chevening is not looking for only academic scholars or academic brilliance. Yes, I'm not downplaying that part, but I just want people to understand that, because all of us, if we are not somehow good academically, you wouldn't even get the first degree to come here to do the masters. So that academic brilliance in the fund say it is the base. Okay, it is the base. So when you come here, you need to demonstrate to Chevening that whilst you are in the UK, you would put yourself out there to undertake activities that will build your skill towards your career path. Okay, so for instance, what I told Chevening was that, and that is what I've already initiated it. I'm less than 1 week in the UK, but I've already initiated what I told Chevening. Right?
Wow.
Yeah, I told Chevening that when I get here, organizations that are or voluntary organizations that are into foundational literacy and STEM education, I would volunteer with them and learn from them how they do their things, how they put out interventions and programs that support children foundational literacy, and also how they go about with their STEM programs. What kind of STEM education are they giving to children? You get it. And I've already, unfortunately for me, my school, remember I said you should research on a good school that is known for what you are doing.
What you do.
Yeah. So my school, because it's one school strong with strong background in education, they've partnered NGOs that are into education or that are doing something with education. So I've signed up with one of them. So I'll be joining the activities and I'll be learning. in this way, you are telling Chevening that you are going out there to do activities beyond classroom.
Right.
You go out there to do activities that will build your competences, that will build your knowledge, practical knowledge, because certain things that you will learn through volunteering your time in the UK, classroom, you may not learn that. So you need to spell out some activities that you believe, say, Obaha. You may not know the NGOs in mind, though. I never knew that XYZ NGO in Oxford Book is doing something about foundational literacy or STEM education. What I said was that because I am passionate about foundational literacy and STEM education, I would reach out to organizations, whether non-profit or profit organizations that are doing something about foundational literacy and STEM education. So I will learn from them how they are doing their things here, so that I will learn and build myself as a leader, so that upon my return, I can replicate or design unique models and do same in Ghana with my NGO. So with that, Chevening knows that, yes, the career plan that I'm trying to pursue, which is a STEM policy advisor, I'm putting myself out there beyond classroom to do certain activities that will build my competencies, and upon my return, I can put those skills to use. Please, you get it?
Yes, please, I get you.
And secondly, a minute. Yes. So people should, let Chevening know that they are open to, activities beyond classroom that would build their competencies in the career they want to pursue. Okay. Then one key thing is that Chevening is a two-way, from my understanding, okay. It's a two-way initiative. Yeah, in a sense that you are representing the interest of your country, and you should also represent the interest of the UK government. So in your career path, how will your career path advance the interest of Ghana and advance the interest of UK government in your field of study? So to answer that question, I've asked the question, I'm answering it. So what I wrote here is that the last one is that you should be able to demonstrate how your career path, or your goals, your career goals would advance both the interest of your country and the interest of the UK government. So that is how I did mine. Like I said earlier on, Ghana's interest in education now is to gradually align learners to pursue STEM disciplines. Okay, and the government is putting out a lot of effort to improve the poor rates of children that reach STEM disciplines at the senior high school level or maybe the university level. Currently, it's, like I said, it's about 12% of learners learners normal or who goes to the senior high school level. About 12% pursue STEM or science-related disciplines, which is very bad. So the government is trying its best to encourage that. That is why currently there is STEM high schools alone. There are some high schools that it's purely STEM. You don't go and do art there. Okay, and the technical universities and also more of science and technology programs. And currently in Ghana, the education ministry is focusing strongly on STEM and TVET education. Okay, so how I advance my country's interest in it, we are trying to prepare learners from the basic level to develop interest in STEM programs so that when they are about to go to high school, because of the interventions we put in place at the basic level, we've gingered or we've spiced up their interest in STEM. So they will not have that fear of, I'm going to read mathematics, I'm going to read science. We've killed that fear and we've given them practical knowledge to demonstrate with their hands through the coding and robotic programs that we are doing. Okay, so we want to demystify the fear. So that is how my career path is supporting the government in the field of education. So the government doesn't need to do everything on its own. We are preparing minds at the basic level to kill the fear for STEM related disciplines. You know how scary mathematics is for basic learners in high school. Sorry, for basic learners in Ghana. Yes, people obiti science and machine, obiti math and machine, right? So we are trying to, demystify that fear or kill that fear and prepare their mind to pursue science or STEM related disciplines. In doing that, you are complementing government efforts. On the other side, the UK government too has that as a priority focus. So you should research. And know what the UK government is doing in your field of study. You should research. Like I said, Chevening is not really about putting good English essay. No, it should be factual. You demonstrate that, yes, in Ghana, maybe you are doing something about project management, you are doing something about cybersecurity, you are doing something about water and sanitation, you are doing something about, or you are interested or you want to read a program about water and sanitation, you want to read a program about food security, you want to read something about business and entrepreneurship. What is Ghana's current ambition or interest for entrepreneurship, cybersecurity, food and security, health, whatever your field may be? What is Ghana's interest in that? What is the program of study you want to read in? You should know the ministry it links to,
right?
And know the intervention that the current government is doing. I don't care your political affiliations, right? Get to know what the current government is doing, because that is the interest of the country, not a political party. Okay, so get to know what the current government is doing, and get to know what the UK government is also doing in Ghana, because trust me, the UK government is doing a bit of everything in Ghana. Yeah, the UK government is investing hugely in diverse areas in Ghana: education, human rights, climate change, education, water and sanitation, security, especially cyber security, health. The UK government is investing in diverse areas. So get to know what the UK government interests are in that area you want to pursue your master's in, and get to know what your country's interests are in that area. Then position your career path to advance both interests. So if you don't know, if you don't have the knowledge, you may end up writing just grammar.
Right.
But if you have the knowledge, you can bring forth what your country is doing in that area, and you can bring forth what the UK government, and before I applied to do educational leadership, I was so amazed when I did my research to know what the UK government is doing in education. Charlie, they are investing a lot. They are investing even in complementary education. Those that have been out of school for a while, they want to bring them in. The UK government is investing a lot in pushing girls into STEM. The UK government is investing a lot in improving literacy rate in Ghana. Get to know the fact. Sometimes you can even find this information online. Get to know the fact. Sometimes get to know the money, the kind of money that the UK government is pumping in that area. Then when you have a clear understanding of what the government is doing in that area and what the UK government is doing in that area, then you can position your career path to speak for both. That upon your return, you are better positioned to advance both the interests of your country and the UK government, because every Chevening scholar now has two interests to protect and to defend and to advance.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think these are the 7 key things that I want to touch on. And I believe with 500 words, if you're able to research extensively around the 7 key areas, I may even send you highlighters of what I've captured here, so that in making social media posts, you can attach it to, so that people understand that you need to know these areas and you need to have a right mindset before you approach Chevening career essay plans.
Okay, thank you very much, Eric. Those are like very interesting pointers, very key pointers, as you already mentioned. So if you just joined us, we are currently talking about the Chevening Scholarship, and we are focusing today on the career plan essay. And Eric just highlighted 7 pointers. So I'll just quickly go through them just to be sure that I didn't miss anything. So the first thing that he talked about was understanding the objective of Chevening. The second thing is to demonstrate how you are presently working on your career path, and also to demonstrate how your program will help you upskill in your career path. You also mentioned to have a clear career plan that includes your short-term, your medium-term, and then your long-term goal. It must not necessarily be a very clear vision that you are seeing, but then in bits and pieces of how you are working to bring everything together, you can be able to align them such. And it's also important to demonstrate how your career plan will help your society. In this instance, it is Ghana, but then it might not necessarily be Ghana as a whole. It could be the NGO, the particular NGO that you're working with, the particular affiliation or the association that you're part of. And then your set points touched on how to demonstrate how you put yourself out there in the UK to build your career. That is, practical ways. And you talked about how you've been able to join, an NGO that is focused on the education.
Yeah, beyond classroom activities.
Beyond classroom activities. That's a key point. And then the final thing that you mentioned was how will your career path influence or build Ghana and the UK as a whole? I believe I've been able to touch on all the major points that you mentioned.
Yes, let me stress on one thing, right? With having a clear path with your career plan or goals after you return from Chevening. We are not having this discussion here, but let me just chip in briefly. Should prospective scholars advance to the interview stage, one of the key questions that might come, okay, is that the panel would expect you to clearly explain to them what you'll be doing upon your return from the UK. And that speaks to having a clear knowledge of what you want to do in a short term, a long term, medium term, and long term. By giving in expressing yourself that way, don't give fleshy English. Yeah, you need to tell them explicitly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the English word.
Yeah.
If upon your return you'll be working in a particular space or in an NGO or in a company, tell them explicitly what you'll be doing that will advance that career that you want to pursue. And how that career will help society is very key. So I'll play with my prospective Cheveners to be more fact-based in writing. Their essay should have facts. They should do away with fleshy English, and every paragraph should speak to facts. So that's what I'll just add to what you've rightly captured. Thank you.
Okay, sure. So if you have any questions, you can drop them in the chat, and then Eric will do well to answer them. So, I mean, you've already captured a lot of the questions that I have based on the 7 pointers that you gave, right? But then I understand that in every essay writing, we have the introduction, we have the body, we have the conclusion. So based on the things that you have captured, let's say we want to get a clear structure of how the essay should be. What should someone capture in their introduction? How should the body be captured? What should be the concluding, parts that will distinct them from other applicants?
Okay, that's a good question, and this is something I'll be sharing subjectively based on my experience and all that. With these 7 key things that I've highlighted, I think it's first of all important to start you could have, let me see what I did when I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 6 paragraphs.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 6 paragraphs, right? And I'm not sharing my screen because in writing essay, right, the Chevening essays, you have to be organic. You have to be more natural. You have to pick experiences from within yourself. Okay, it makes you come across as a natural person.
Authentic.
Okay, authentic. Don't overthink. You don't need anyone's essay template to do anything. It is better to put out raw essays, get people to proofread and correct grammatical errors or punctuation errors for you, than to think that a current scholar or an alumni should give you his or her essay, then you be putting in things. Because Obia life, everyone's life is different. You get it. So you can only get key items, then based on the key tips, and you can rearrange your things well. Okay. So what I did was that I first of all stated certain factual objective of Ghana's Ministry of Education. Okay, so it leads to knowing what your country is doing in that area. Okay, then so let me read just a bit of it. So as established in Ghana's Education Strategic Plan, which is ESP 2018 to 2030, the Ministry of Education has an objective to flip the humanities to science ratio from the present 60-40 to 40-60 in favor of the sciences by 2030. The challenge, however, is that at the senior high school level, only about 12% of the students are pursuing science. So with this paragraph, what I'm trying to do is that I've established facts, okay, that there is a situation of our country. So it leads to me saying that people should demonstrate how their career path would advance the interest of the country, their country, and the UK government, because your country's interest now is to improve STEM, or to improve the percentage of learners pursuing STEM disciplines. So you state facts. So you can start with the challenge, okay, because your career path is geared towards addressing a challenge, solving a problem beyond yourself. So put out factual reality of the sector that you are pursuing a master's in or career in, the factual reality. Okay, then based on that factual reality, you establish that fact. Okay, then based on that, you can come to, based on that reality, that statistical reality, what you are currently doing. I think I mentioned that demonstrate how you are currently.
That was the second point.
The second point, exactly. So these 7 key highlighters, it doesn't mean that is how your essays should be
structured.
No. I should issue that disclaimer. It doesn't mean that is how your essay should be arranged. You should just know where to pick, where to put where. Okay, so it is not arranged in any alphabetical order or any structural order. Okay, so I considered and said, the nonprofit I serve believes that we need to inspire the young ones from the basic school if we want them to choose science disciplines at the high school level. Hence, our effort to prepare learners from basic 1 to junior high school 3 in STEM to better prepare them to pursue STEM disciplines at senior high school and tertiary levels. To start, I have designed a model to establish literature, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics clubs. The clubs will be established in schools, hosting our 8 libraries, 10 libraries in bracket, 10 libraries by December 2023. This club are scheduled to be in operation from March 2024. The success of this club depends on the ability of our team of volunteers to engage other stakeholders to support our club. So what I'm trying to highlight here is that the challenge is there, the factual challenge in that area is there. If you think that Ghana is having food crisis, or Ghana has announced that we'll be having food crisis, if you are pursuing something about food insecurity, okay, put out the hard reality. Then you come up with what you are presently doing. I said what you are presently doing towards your goal, your career path. So let what you are doing should come just after the fact. Okay, then after that, you establish your Chevening, maybe the third item, you establish Chevening why you are going to do that program. I said you should give a reason why or how or demonstrate how your program will help you. So one, all the fact in it, okay. Now, second, all the what you are currently doing to somehow address the challenge in terms of your career, what you are currently doing in your career path, and how is it addressing that challenge. Then you come to the other stage and say, this program now after our X university, X or Y university, this university is known to train educators or to train cybersecurity professionals or to train food scientists, whatever. And this program now after our university, program or innovative models are. It will help you develop yourself to be a leader in that area, to address some of the challenges back home. So you put. I don't know if I'm making sense with how I'm arranging.
Yes, you are making a lot of sense.
So then you can demonstrate how your program will help you. Then after demonstrating how your program will help you, you can also demonstrate, say, well, I believe that this program will help me, and then why establish it. But also let everyone understand, say, program, like how the program will help you, what are certain activities that you anticipate engaging yourself in the UK that will build your skill on top of the academic knowledge you get in the classroom. What are certain activities that you'll be availing yourself to undertake in the UK to build your skills, so that when you are back home, you can address that challenge you've established up there. If you think you are passionate about leadership, and bear in mind, leadership is a career. Okay, leadership is also a career. We have people in business leadership, political leadership, and all that. So if let's say you want to train yourself as a leader to lead sectors, you should also demonstrate, say, UK, you avail yourself to be program reps, faculty reps, and I've even applied to be a faculty rep for education.
Interesting.
I'm hoping, yeah. For me, anything that I establish in the essay,
applying it.
I'm going to make sure
implementing it.
Yes, I'll take all my boxes before I leave here.
Right. Please take everything.
So I've applied to be a faculty rep, and I know without any doubt that I'll be selected. They are just taking 2 faculty reps for postgraduate, but I'm very confident that I'll get it. So it's a way, not that I have flexible academic schedule, I don't have anything to do, but I cannot come to the UK and do just classroom work. You have to train yourself as a leader. And the best way to train yourself as a leader is to avail yourself to serve in certain capacities. It highlights certain activities now ability to building yourself as a leader to pursue that career. So that can be your 4th item. Okay, then maybe your 5th item can be upon your return in the next 2 years, 5 years, this is what you'll be doing. Then afterwards, and then you can conclude by saying, say, you believe that with what you'll be doing, upon your return, that is the previous paragraph, upon what you'll be doing upon your return, it will advance the interest of your country and the UK government by giving example of what the UK government is doing in that area. And you believe that your career path will advance that interest.
Right.
I don't know if I've arranged it well enough.
Yes, you actually have. Thank you so much. So I don't know if anybody has any question to ask. So just a disclaimer, as Eric rightly said, the 7 pointers he gave is not entirely, you don't strictly have to, arrange your essays in such a format, but it's just like you're telling a story. So tell it in the way that best fits you, because everybody's story is unique. So you don't necessarily have to go, step by step as he gave the 7 pointers. Just arrange it in a way that best tells or fits your story. So I'd like to know, I don't know if you had a chance to, read other people's essays, but then in the best of your knowledge, what do you think are some of the common mistakes that people should avoid when writing their Chevening Career Plan essay?
I believe, yes, I I never had the opportunity to read people's essays, but what I had was I did a lot of YouTube videos on previous scholars. I read extensively. I watched extensive videos about them. I also had my wife to support me with research,
Shouts to her.
so yeah, so you cannot write Chevening essays without facts. So one of the mistakes is that people write fleshy essays without adequate facts. Okay, yes, and you have to also, the fact that you think you've written a good English or a good essay doesn't mean send it. You have to get people close to you to proofread it, because sometimes the grammar will not be grammaring. Yeah, you have to get people to proofread your essays, point out some few errors, and I think, and please don't use, yes, I nearly forgot this. People or prospective scholars shouldn't use chat GTP or artificial artificial intelligence write essay.
Right.
You don't know. You don't know. I refined my essay 3 times before submitting it. Yes. If you chat GTP, you will not be organic. You don't need to use big grammar. You don't need to use big grammar. Write simple and understandable and relatable English. They are not investing in you because you can speak big English or you can speak English more than King Charles. So write organic essays, let people proofread a lot, and watch videos on YouTube to know certain key areas to handle based on the area of study that you want to pursue. And I think one error that people do, I think, is that some overwrite. I think some overwrite and they think Chevening will ignore it. If they say 500,
Strictly 500.
It's 500. just stick to your 500. Please don't. No, you are not going to impress anyone writing more than 500 essay, 500 words. Yeah. So I think these are some of the minor challenges that comes to mind. Yeah. People don't write organic essays. They put artificial intelligence systems to write it for them. They don't get proofread their essays. They don't have facts to back their essays. And you shouldn't be deceptive. Don't say things you've not done. Don't say things you've not done, because interestingly, Chevening have a way of
finding out.
Yeah, before they invite you to the interview. Before you get invited to the interview, trust me, they do due diligence on you. And I will say this here, when there was a time after applying, after applying, there was a time that I observed, this is from personal experiences, so right? Like I said, I'm not speaking the mind of Chevening here, okay? But I'm sharing my experiences. Some may have observed, others may not have observed, but I did, because that is what mathematics taught me. At least I'm an observant person, right? So there was a time on my LinkedIn, right? I saw people that worked with Commonwealth or the UK government.
Checking out your profile.
On my profile, I saw that.
Wow.
And that could be one of the mechanisms of checking on you to see if you're up to what you're up to. Yeah. So don't write things you've not done. Don't say you've worked for companies or you volunteered with NGOs you've not done. Because before they invite you to the interview, they will do due diligence on you. Because they want to invest in the right leaders.
Right.
Like I said, they shouldn't rush sending their essays. They should take their time and refine it. If there is the need to find a particular data and mention it in the essay, they should find that data, that statistics, and mention it. So I think that is some of the few things that I can talk about.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. I believe you've had a very extensive conversation and you've covered everything that needs to be covered. You've touched on very, very salient points that has to do with writing your Chevening Career Plan essay. I don't know if anybody has a question, because we want to round up and bring this session to an end. So I guess my final question would be, I am a prospective applicant. I'm applying for Chevening. What is your advice for me? I'm currently confused. I don't know how to go about things. I'm thinking plenty, as you said. I mean, what would be your best advice to anybody out there who is currently in the process of applying and they don't know what is going on with themselves? So can you speak?
Yeah, I think one thing is don't look down on yourself. Okay, if you listen to people, you will not even put in the application because you may not know how important your work would appear to the Chevening panel. Okay, don't doubt it. Be confident in yourself and what you are doing. That is propelling you to write to Chevening to support your education as an emerging leader. Right? So don't look down on yourself, because if you listen to the statistics, it's a bit scary, right? For instance, globally, over 60,000 people applied. They pruned it down to 5,000 being invited for interview globally, from 60,000 to just 5,000 globally. And in percentage wise, they only award 2 to 3%. In Ghana, for instance, over 2,000 applicants that came in, they invited about 100 or so, or 150 or so applicants for interview, and they selected just 15. And the 15 happens to be the only representative for education. But it doesn't mean look down yourself. Be confident in the kind of work you are doing and put it out there. I think I've read a question that, please, is Chevening only available to entrepreneurs, volunteers, and NGO staff? No, it is not. Like I said, the work you are doing in the corporate space also count, because work experience, they pick it from both in a corporate space or working with an actual company or maybe NGO. It's not about only voluntary. But what is important is that what have you done in that corporate space or career that is selfless, that is not self-seeking, that is not just about you. You get it? That is not just about you. How is it helping society? You get it? What are the plans that you have in mind to help society with that career you are pursuing in that office? Okay, how will that work that you are doing in that office, and how will it help humanity? How will it help your country? How will it help your society? How is your country activities helping the country? We are asked not to speak we are asked not to repeat examples. Can you speak more on that? Yes, because the way the Chevening questions are asked, it gives room. I believe it gives room for you to give fresh example under each essay. Examples that you will give under career path, should be different from how you demonstrated leadership. And I think they are not the same. How you demonstrated leadership examples will not be the same as what I've already discussed with us with a career path. So yes, you shouldn't repeat examples. And we shouldn't think that it's about the huge things. No, it's not only always about the huge things that you are doing. No, sometimes the little things matter. You get it? Because if you have demonstrated excellence in little things, Chevening would believe that if they give you the opportunity to
handle a lot of things, bigger things.
Exactly. So don't think it's about huge things. It's about the little things that you are doing. Okay, to demonstrate how it is helping society. So it's not about the big things. We've been so question is say, I saw something about having IEL. Yeah, those things. That is 2 years old. I don't think so, because this has to do with what I talked about, researching on your university. Okay, Chevening does not, to my best of knowledge, does not check your English
Proficiency.
that does not require English proficiency. It's the university you apply to. Chevening is the financial aspect of your education. They are coming in to support your education financially, and they are looking at your leadership. Okay, it is your university that would require you to have the ability to speak good English before they give you the admission. So you should research about the universities that gives flexible what's it called, directives on English proficiency. For me, Oxford Brooks, I used my WASI certificate and also a letter from UCC indicating that my 4-year degree in mathematics, economics, and statistics were taught in English. So having these two documents, I wasn't compelled to write English proficiency. And bear in mind, Chevening will not have time for you to prove your proficiency with what's it called? There are some programs, if you're not able to prove your proficiency, they will give you 1 year or 6 months or so to do some English courses before you enroll to your main program. Chevening will not accept it. Okay, you have to deal your English proficiency stuff with your university. So it is important you research and get to know the right universities. Okay, because I can share a list of universities that are a bit flexible, not because they are not strict too. They are flexible because they can accept WASI and a letter from your university, an authentic letter from your university indicating that your undergraduate was taught in English. I can share some list with you of such universities, but it's not Chevening asking for that proficiency. No. Yes, if you have masters, you can do your masters again with Chevening. It all depends on how you can demonstrate the reason why you want to do your second masters with your career plan based on what I've already explained. I have a colleague who is a full-time lecturer at Accra University with masters already, but she's here for second masters through Chevening. And I have so many people that I reached out to, they had their masters already, but Chevening gave them the opportunity for second masters because of what? Their work and how they demonstrated that their career, the reason they want to do second degree, would not be selfish interest. It is selfless. It is beyond them. So you can have a master's and still do your second master. Yes, through Chevening. Yes. So I think I've answered that. I believe I've answered the English proficiency person. It's not Chevening asking for that, to my best of knowledge. It is your university. And I know people that got Chevening, and at least I know one person, not from Ghana though, but I know one person that got Chevening scholarship but never got admission from any of the 3 universities.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know one person, not from Ghana, but I know one person. Because of that, she couldn't take up because he did poor research on the university. Every university has their requirement.
Yeah.
You should know your university before you apply there.
I think Anna's hand is up.
So I can send, it's about 15 universities, and I'm note you more down. They are very flexible. Not that they are weak and they are not straight. That they want to get a good letter from your university, an authentic letter, and they will verify. Please, they will verify. Don't go and draft any letter. They will verify from your university. The UK university don't joke with proficiency at all. So they will verify from your university, say, your undergrad, was it taught, was it a taught program, fully taught English program? They call it taught programs, yeah. I don't know how taught program, yeah. So we are in English and something like that. They will verify the letter, right? And also you can back it with your WASI certificate. If your English, your grade in English, you had, I think, C or better. If your grade in WASI, you had C or better, you can add it to that proficiency letter from your university, then the university will accept. But if you have an offer, our condition is say, come to UK and do 6 months English requirement before you can start your enrollment, Chevening will not sponsor you.
That's a good addition. Anna, please, you can ask the question.
Okay, thank you very much, Mimi and Eric, for this wonderful session. I have 2 questions.
Please, I'm listening.
Eric was talking about the different essays that you have to have like different examples for each essay, right? And yesterday we had the career and influence session, and the speaker said that like if you are talking about a problem, like the speaker was talking about the STAR approach, which is the situation, task, approach, and the result. It says that if you are using like one problem, it should like run through it. There should be like an interconnection between the leadership, the career and the other essays. So I want to know if I'm using different examples for the different essays, how well can I interconnect all the 4 essays, even though I'm using the different examples, and the situation may be one, or should I use different situations for all the essays or one situation in different examples? And
okay, let me answer this first question, else I may not address it well.
Yes,
that's a good question. In fact, even though I didn't mention the word style approach, I think with what I've highlighted with the 7 key items, it fit directly into the style approach, and I'm glad you just brought it up. Yes, the other speaker is not wrong. Like I said, we have diverse opinions, and we are all sharing this opinion based on our experiences. I strongly agree to the first speaker that you just made reference to, in a sense that one, what needs to be interconnected is that Chevening needs to know that you are addressing one challenge. Okay, you are speaking to one thing, education. Okay, you don't talk about health and leadership. You don't talk about menstrual health and career. You don't talk about what's it called? Mental health. I mean mental health, not menstrual health. Sorry, mental health. And one essay. Have a focus. If it's education, in your educational pursuit to be a leader in education, how have you demonstrated leadership? In your pursuit to be a leader in education, how have you demonstrated influencing, like networking skills? How have you demonstrated that? In your pursuit to be a leader in education, what is your career path? So it should it will naturally interlink, because you are talking about one thing. So for instance, under my leadership and leadership and influence thing, yes, I demonstrated how I saw the importance to establish relationship with key stakeholders in education that would advise me on certain things to do, like meeting the Minister for Education, both the main minister and also the deputy minister, how I met the Director General for Ghana Education Service, because the program that I'm doing with my NGO, the intervention that I'm doing with the NGO, we can't achieve it in isolation. We need stakeholders.
Collaboration.
We need collaborations with organizations like UNESCO Ghana Commission. We need them. So I demonstrated with examples and scenarios how I connected with these people. That is examples of leadership. But it's about education, because it doesn't mean that everyone should go to the minister. No. Sometimes stakeholders is not about the top. We thought we are doing something in schools, and before you do something in schools, you need approval from at least the Director General for Ghana Education Service. So you pay him a courtesy visit. He knew me from nowhere, right? We went in there, we introduced the program to him, and he embraced it and he encouraged us and decided to even introduce us to regional directors of education, district directors of education, so that when we go there, they'll receive us well. So the key thing is education. We are doing something about education, foundational literacy and STEM education. You should demonstrate how you build leadership or how your influential skills are in that area. You get so many examples, but it's still talking about education. I don't know if I've answered your question. And in your career path too, in the same education space, what are your career path? What do you want to do? So you can keep the same. There are so many people doing so many things. There are people doing so many things. If when it's about food security, you see them. If it's about education, you see them. If it's about mental health, you see them. You have clarity. I think that's what the other speaker spoke about.
Yes.
You can't present so many things to Chevening. No, you are not a jack of all trades. Please, have I answered your question?
Yes, please. It's very clear now. Like,
Yes,
have clarity.
Yeah, you can't present so many things. You can't present, oh, I'm a human rights activist, I'm an educationist, I'm a climate change advocate. No. Have clarity, okay? Then demonstrate how you are building leadership or connecting with people in that area. Because I know to be successful in implementing STEM education or literature programs in basic schools, I cannot do it alone. I need the backing of Ghana Education Service. So in demonstrating my leadership and influential skills, I reach out to them. I don't know them. You don't need to know them. You don't need to be politically connected person. You have a concept. So go to the people that will support that concept and build relationship with them. That will give you enough example. Sometimes even what you are doing, you don't even need to go to the ministry of that sector. You can go to some big agencies that can support your work and build relationship with them. So
Okay.
please, do we have clarity with that question, please?
Yes, please.
So it's not different from what the other speaker spoke about, I believe.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, it's the same. You just have to have one problem. Then yeah, I get it now. My final question, sorry, Mimi, I know that the time is almost up. My final question is about the working hours, because I checked the Chevening website and they said that you have to have 2,800 working hours, right?
It means minimum of, I think, 2 years.
2 years, okay.
And
so
it doesn't mean, sorry, let me please finish with your question.
Okay. And they said that if you are doing maybe national service or for the nation or for your degree or something like that, it's not included. Can you clarify that for me? Maybe I didn't understand it very well. So can you clarify it for me, please?
Please, the national service, you read it somewhere or you heard it somewhere?
I saw it on the Chevening website. Maybe, okay, wait. It wasn't about national service. It was more or less about working towards your degree, like when you are getting a degree or something like that. It's not included. Let me just check and clarify it.
You know, I'm a bit puzzled because of, I know, per what I know, maybe things have changed a bit because every year there may be few new directives from Chevening, but per what I know, even whilst in school, if you've done voluntary activities, it counts as part of your working experience. Whether you're in school or out of school, even voluntary activities, once you can prove that you spend 10 hours a week, 5 hours a week with this organization for 2 years or 3 years, and that organization is legally registered, it's a viable organization, and they can be tracked, or they can be yes, let me put it this way, like it's a viable entity, NGO. Your time with them count as one of the work experience, and your actual work experience is one. So maybe I've not read the kind of document or link that you are talking about. So I don't want to say it's not true or it's true. I don't want to commit myself to what I've not read. Okay, but from what I know, voluntary activities even count because trust me, I have spent most of my time volunteering. So if voluntary should count, if forget about what someone have told you. If nothing at all, I'm a living proof that voluntary experiences count. Because I spoke at length with my voluntary activities in addition to the corporate works I've done. So I added it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not privy to that information because national service is active work. Yeah, so can you do due diligence?
Yes, I'm currently on the website now.
Yeah, can you do due diligence on it? I'm not really sure of this new directive from Chevening. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay, so while Anna is...
Someone said, what are the chances of business or accounting applicants? There is chance for everyone, my brother. Or there is chance for everyone. Like I said, your right mindset. I wish when this session ends, you can watch this video again, but it doesn't care your area low, right? I know in my cohort, I have two people from the security agencies, one from Ghana Army and one from, I think, the Navy or the Air Force or so. Yeah, they are professionals in that space, but they are in. Okay, so business, I know at least I have a friend who is in for business innovations and entrepreneurship. And he's also doing a lot of social enterprises that empowers people economically. So business, yes, business people have chance. Accounting people have chance, but it all depends on how you approach it. And I don't want to go back to things that we've already
discussed.
Yeah, but please watch the video again. So everyone have a chance with Chevening.
Okay, Anna, please, you can go ahead.
Okay, so let me clarify it. I'm on the website now, and it said the types of work experience that are eligible for Chevening can include full-time employment, part-time employment, voluntary work, paid or unpaid internships. And they went ahead to say work experience can be completed before, during, or after graduating from your undergraduate status. However, any mandatory employment that counted towards your undergraduate or postgraduate course will not be eligible. I think that's where I wanted like some clarity there. Yeah.
Please forgive me. Can you take it again briefly?
Okay, so we said the types of work experience that are eligible for Chevening can include full-time employment, part-time employment, voluntary work, paid or unpaid internships. And they went on to say that work experience can be completed before, during, or after graduating from your undergraduate status. Yes. However, any mandatory employment that counted towards your undergraduate or postgraduate course will not be eligible. That was where I was having like some confusion there. I was thinking
then
maybe
it makes sense. It made sense because mandatory national service is mandatory.
Yeah.
Unless they declare it or a new government declares that national service is optional.
Yeah.
But so far as national service is mandatory, then they are right to say that it doesn't count. But like I said, you can have experience whilst you are in school, and I think they've even said that already. You can have that experience whilst in school through internship, through voluntary organization, through actual work in the corporate space, whether you are paid or not. Meaning I count it. So I wasn't wrong when I said that, isn't it? So I think your consent to is right, that mandatory. So anything mandatory, then it means national service qualifies as mandatory for now.
But sorry, did you use national service as part of?
For me, no, personally,
okay.
no.
Okay,
no.
But do you know like anyone that used national service as part of their working?
Unfortunately, no. I have to be honest with you. Unfortunately,
okay.
Yeah. I used more of my post after school work experiences, and also my voluntary activities whilst I was in school, and also my voluntary activities after I graduated.
Okay. Thank you very much.
So I think there's a question in the chat. Please be around it, so if you have any questions.
Assuming you have founded a volunteering program at your village, how can you integrate that in your AC? Well, it depends on where you want to put it. Maybe you could put it under leadership, how your leadership led you to, how your leadership skills and your vision for what you want to do led you to establish this organization. Depends on what your organization is doing, the kind of societal problem your organization is doing. You can highlight that as under leadership. You can also highlight that on a career path, that upon your return, this is what you want to do. Continue to serve in that organization to solve ABC problem. So being a founder, it means you've been passionate about something. You have a foresight, a vision about something in your society you want to address, and that led you to take an initiative to establish a non-profit entity or a social enterprise. It can qualify better under leadership.
Please, I hope that answers your question. Please, are there any more questions?
Remember, even you even stand a chance of getting Chevening than me, because you have founded something. I joined something, and I only designed good programs. So like I said, it's about the mindset and how you approach Chevening. You get it? Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I guess I don't see any more questions in the chat, so
someone asked that I share the ACEs.
The ACEs.
I mean, sorry, not the ACEs. The ACEs I'm not going to share.
The schools.
It's against Chevening ethics. We are encouraged to write organic essays, so I'm not going to share essays. But what I can share is schools that are a bit flexible with requirements on English proficiency.
Right. So I guess when you share that, you share it with them on the WhatsApp platform. Okay, so Eric, thank you so much.
Most welcome.
Wonderful conversation. You've extensively handled this part of the conversation, the career plan essay. And I believe that everybody who rewatches this has a good idea and a path as to which they can channel their essay to make them stand out. I don't know, where can people find you if people want to connect with you?
For now, right, I'll share my handle, but I just also want to put a disclaimer, right? that I'll be unable, I wish I could, or I can, but I'll be unable to proofread essays for prospective applicants, because currently I'm barely a week in the UK now, and I have intensive, normally masters, someone would say is 2 years, a 2-year program. But Chevening, we are all doing 1-year master's program, so it's very intensive, very, very intensive, and it starts from next week. So I'll be unable to proofread essays. But should applicants get to the interview stage, should they get to the interview, by that time, I have actually integrated well into the program. Then they can reach out to me. I can do mock sessions with them, and I have a previous caller, our alumni, shared some brilliant template that helps you. It doesn't give you a poll; it helps you prepare for the interview. I can be sharing those materials with us when we get to the interview stage. So I wish every applicant the best of luck, and I pray that you sail through with every passion I have on your heart.